Hey everybody, Ryan here. Alright, I'm going to go over all the games from the 15th of March 2021. Just to start off, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, please hit that subscribe button down the bottom right hand corner. I'm up to 45, getting closer to that 50 subscriber milestone. Alright, other than that, also just wanted to let you know there was one game between St. Louis and LA today that was postponed due to weather in Colorado, which I know if you don't know what happened. It sounds confusing because neither of those two teams play in Colorado. But LA was in Colorado. They got snowed in, so they could not make it to the game against St. Louis today, so that game was postponed. They will release a date for it at a later point. All right. Other than that, let's get started with the games from the 15th of March 2021. All right, first game is between Nashville and Tampa. Nashville won 4-1. Be the second best team in the league. Who knows? Maybe they can turn it around, Nashville, at this point, and not have to trade Matthias Ekholm like it sounds like they may have to, or not have to, but they may do. All right. So 2:56 into the first, Pat Maroon fights Ben Harper. I'm not sure how that fight was. I haven't seen it, but it's two big guys, so it could be interesting. All right. Second period, 3:58, and Eli Tolvanen scores his sixth of the year from Ryan Johansson and Calle Yarncroc. Then at 9:14 of the second, Victor Arvidsson scores his fourth of the year on the power play from Eric Holla and Calle Yarncroc. At 11:46 of the second, Calle Yarncroc scores his seventh, shorthanded, from Matthias Ekholm and Pekka Rinne. Goalie point. Alright, 10 minutes and 3 seconds, actually 3 seconds into the third period, Pat Maroon fights again versus Matthew Olivier this time. That would be more interesting because Olivier so far has had some pretty fun fights. Alright, 10:03 into the third, Steven Stamkos' 13th of the year from Yanni Gourde and Alex Killorn. Then, at 19:40 of the third, Matthias Ekholm scores his fifth from Dante Fabro and Calle Yarncroc. So if you ain't got this yet, this was the Calle Yarncroc game because he had 4 points. Played a part in all 4 goals for Nashville today. A goal and 3 assists for him tonight. Let's see, any other multi-pointers for that team? Matthias Ekholm, a goal and an assist. Yeah, that's it. Then, of course, Tampa only scored 1 goal, so no multi-pointers there. Tampa did outplay them. Tampa had the majority of shots, 39-26. They beat them in the faceoff dot, 51-49. Nashville was 1 for 2 on the power play. Tampa 0 for 3. Penalty minutes were 16-14. Nashville was 16. Hits 20-17 in favor of Tampa. Blocks 12-8 in favor of Nashville. And giveaways were 2-1. Tampa with 2. Pekka Rinne had a very good game, very solid game for him. 38 saves, 974 save percentage. And Curtis McElhaney, 22 saves, 880 save percentage for the loss. Alright, on to Washington versus Buffalo. Buffalo without Jack Eichel is not a team with much of a chance. And tonight was not any better. 6-0 they lost tonight. I believe that is 2 straight shutouts now against them. 18:46 of the first, Evgeny Kuznetsov scores his third from Justin Schultz and Connor Sheary. Then at 2:41 of the second, Nicholas Backstrom's 11th from TJ Oshie and Nick Jensen. Then at 5:59 of the second, Richard Panik from Dmitry Orlov. Then at 15:07, Daniel Sprong scores his 6th from Nick Jensen. Then at 6:46 of the third, Garnett Hathaway. Yes, Garnett Hathaway scores his 4th from Justin Schultz and Carl Hagelin. 16:21, Alex Ovechkin scores his 11th from Connor Sheary. There you go. All right, shots on goal favored the Capitals 30-23. Faceoffs, Capitals favor 56-44. Capitals 0 for 2 on the power play. Buffalo 0 for 1. Penalty minutes 4-2. Buffalo 4. Hits 9-5. Very low hitting game. Favoring Buffalo. Blocks 14-9 favoring Washington. And giveaways were 9-5. Washington with 9. Goalies were Vanacek, 23 saves, shutout, for the win. And Hutton, 24 saves, 800 save percentage for a loss. Buffalo is definitely a team spiraling. They are not going to be anywhere but that bottom spot at this point, and it's not going to get any better anytime soon. All right, Philadelphia versus the New York Rangers. New York Rangers win 5-4 in overtime. No, that's backwards. I wrote backwards, I'm sorry. I'm feeling kind of cruddy today. My allergies are killing me, so I wrote that backwards. I'm sorry. It's 5-4 Philly over the Rangers. All right, so 3:47 into the first, James Van Riemsdyk scores his 13th from Joel Farabee and Justin Braun. Then at 5:05, Ivan Provorov scores his 4th from Sean Couturier. At this point, they're going into the second, 2-0 Philly. 8:12 into the second, Artemi Panarin, first goal since he returned. 6th goal of the year from Tarmo. I'm going to try to say his last name. Ruonanen. I'm going to say it's Ruonanen. Fun name, if that's how you say it. From Ryan Strome. Then at 10:52 into the second, the Rangers tie it. Colin Blackwell 6 from Artemi Panarin and Brendan Smith. Then at 15:16 of the second, Julian Gauthier scores his 2nd from Philip Cheadle and Artemi Panarin again. All right, then at 18:36, Joel Farabee's 12th on the power play from Claude Giroux and Jakub Voracek. Then at 2:56, so going into the third, they're tied 3-3. All right, going into the third, 2:56 in, Kevin Rooney scores his 5th from Brendan Lemieux and Brett Howden, making it 4-3 Rangers. Less than 3 minutes later, at 5:33, Claude Giroux scores his 6th on the power play from Jakub Voracek and Ivan Provorov, sending us to overtime because nobody would score the rest of the period. 3:47 into overtime, Jakub Voracek scores his 4th of the year, unassisted. There you go. 5-4. Philly, not the Rangers. But the Rangers did get a point. That's always good, too. Shots on goal were 30-24 in favor of Philly. Face-offs, heavily in Philadelphia's favor, 58-42. Power play was 2 for 5 for Philadelphia, 0 for 3 for the Rangers. Penalty minutes, 12-8, 12 for the Rangers. Hits, 29-17. Rangers won that category. Blocks, 13-4 in favor of Philadelphia. And giveaways, 7-5. Philadelphia was 7. Carter Hart, 20 saves, 833 save percentage. And Kincaid for the Rangers, 25 saves, 833 save percentage for a loss. Ironic, both goalies had the same save percentage. All right, on to Chicago versus Florida. And Florida wins again, 6-3. They won 4-2 last meeting. All right, 10:38 into the first, Patrick Kane's 10th of the year from David Kampf. Then that was responded to by Florida at 18:15. Owen Tippett's 4th of the year power play goal from Gustav Forsling and Alex Wenberg. Then 10:19 into the second, Philip Kurashev scores his 7th of the year for Chicago from Matthias Janmark and Calvin DeHaan. Then at 13:02, it becomes 3-1 Chicago. Brandon Hagel's 3rd from Dominic Kubalik and Duncan Keith. At 14:58 of the second, Florida starts to come back. Aaron Ekblad's 10th power play goal from Keith Yandel and Jonathan Huberdeau. Then at 16 minutes into the second, Gustav Forsling, 1st of the year, from Alexander Barkov and Carter Verhaeghe. I don't know how the heck Tampa just let Verhaeghe go. This guy's been a beast all year. Well, I know why. It's because of their cap issues. But still. Dang. This guy's been amazing for Florida this year. All right, 13:26 into the third. Florida takes the lead and does not relent it from there. Alexander Barkov's 12th, shorthanded from Noel Acciari and Mackenzie Weegar. At 18:16, Carter Verhaeghe gets his 11th of the year from Alexander Barkov. At 19:04 into the third, Alexander Wenberg's 6th from Jonathan Huberdeau and Patrick Hornquist. There you go. That's it for this one. Let's see. Gustav Forsling had a goal and assist for Florida. Wenberg, I want to say... Yeah, he had a goal and an assist. Ekblad only had one goal. Huberdeau, I believe, had more. Yeah, Huberdeau had 2 assists. Verhaeghe, goal and an assist. Barkov, goal and an assist. And that is all the multi-pointers. If I missed any, let me know. For Chicago, you have no multi-pointers. Everybody only had 1 point. Okay. Florida outshot Chicago 36-29. They killed them in the faceoff dot, 61-39. Chicago 0 for 4 on the power play. Florida 2 for 3. Penalty minutes were 10-8, 10 for Florida. Hits were 20-16 in favor of Chicago. Blocks 10-9 in favor of Florida. Both teams 8 giveaways. Lankinen 30 saves, 882 save percentage for Chicago in the loss. And Sergei Bobrovsky 26 saves, 897 save percentage for the win. On to Boston versus Pittsburgh. A tale of 2 different teams right now. Boston sinking fast, and Pittsburgh rising very fast. And that trend continues. Pittsburgh won 4-1. All right. It started out good for Boston. Matt Grzelcyk scored his first of the year. Yay. Power play goal from Brad Marchand and David Pastrnak. Then it went all downhill. 16:51 into the first. Evan Rodriguez scores his second of the year from Kasperi Kapanen and Evgeny Malkin. At 18:34 into the first. Sidney Crosby's 11th from Jake Gensel and Brian Dumoulin. Then at 11:40 into the second. Evgeny Malkin's 8th on the power play from Sidney Crosby and Chris Letang. At 19:44 to the third. I'm going to assume this was an empty netter. Jake Gensel's 11th from Brian Rust and Sidney Crosby. All right, Crosby had a goal and 2 assists in tonight's game. Malkin had a goal and assist, and by the way, he scored his 1,100th point tonight. Congratulations to him. Jake Gensel, a goal and an assist. That is it for multi-pointers. Okay. Boston actually outshot them pretty heavily, 43-26. Face-offs were 57-43 in favor of Boston as well. Power play for each team was 1 for 4, 8 penalty minutes each. Boston out-hit Pittsburgh 38-26. Blocks were 15-11 in favor of Boston, and giveaways were 7 each. That is not accurate. I wrote down the wrong numbers. Well, for Halak, it's accurate. Halak made 22 saves for 880 save percentage. Jerry made 42 saves, for 977 save percentage for the win. There you go. All right, Vancouver versus Ottawa. Ottawa played last night, so let's see how that affected them. They played extra time tonight, and they lost in overtime. 3-2 to Vancouver. But Ottawa still got a point. They're starting to play better. They still are allowing a lot of goals, but they are definitely playing much better of late, it seems like. At least to me. I don't get to watch much of the games because there's like 5-6 games on at the same time, so it's hard to watch their games. And, I mean, if I'm going to pick between Boston, Pittsburgh, or Vancouver, Ottawa, Vancouver, Ottawa are towards the bottom of their division, where Boston, Pittsburgh are battling each other for a playoff spot. Yeah, I'm going to watch Boston, Pittsburgh. No offense to these 2 teams' fans. I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that, but let's be honest, we want to watch the top teams, not the bottom teams fighting it out. But sometimes the bottom teams can be the fun ones, too, at the same time, though. Sometimes I do watch them. All right, 10:14 into the first. Howerluck, I think is how you say his name. His first of the year from Brandon Sutter and Jordy Ben. At 18:49 into the first. Vancouver makes it 2-0 going into the second. Tanner Pearson's 6th unassisted. Then Ottawa starts to come back. 3:52. Josh Norris scores his 6th of the year from Tim Stützle and Artem Zub. And then 17:50 into the third. Ottawa ties it, sending it to overtime. Colin White's 8th from Brady Tkachuk. Minute 40 into overtime is all it took for Vancouver. JT Miller's 8th from Quinn Hughes and Bo Horvat. Good to see Horvat getting points. I feel like he has not been doing much this year, so it's good to see him getting a point. And I don't see a single multi-pointer in this game. Nope, none. All right, Ottawa outshot Vancouver considering they played last night. That's incredible, but they are a young team, so not surprising. 46 to 28. 50% each on the faceoff dot. Power play was 0 for 1 for Vancouver, 0 for 4 for Ottawa. 8 penalty minutes for Vancouver to 2 for Ottawa. Hits were 28-11 in favor of Ottawa. Blocks 14 each, and giveaways were 16-12 in favor, or not in favor, but Ottawa was 16 giveaways. Demko made 44 saves for 957 save percentage, and Deckard for Ottawa 25 saves, 893 save percentage for a loss. All right, on to another North Division matchup, Montreal versus Winnipeg. Winnipeg been very hot of late. Montreal has been very not hot, very, very cold. Like if this was NHL 94, they'd have that cold symbol under the name for those who has played it or played the replay that came out this year. You know what I'm talking about. But tonight, Montreal won it. They finally get back in the win column. I think that's 2 in their last 4 or 5. All right. Anyways, 4-2 they won. 4:01 into the first period, Jesperi Kotkaniemi scores his 4th from Jonathan Drouin and Josh Anderson. Now, the 2 people that assisted on that, it's a tale of 2 different players there. Drouin is doing amazing with the assists, but not doing well with the goals. Josh Anderson, doing really well with the goals, starting to get better with the assists, getting there. All right, 5:33 into the second. 5:33 into the second. Josh Anderson scores his 11th. Speak of the devil. Power play goal from Tyler Toffoli and Nick Suzuki. Toffoli, another one of those who definitely has more goals than assists. But still, production is production. 8:08 into the second. Winnipeg answers back. Kyle Connor's 13th on the power play from Josh Morrissey and Paul Stastny. At 19:13 into the second, Tyler Toffoli's 16th unassisted to send us into the third period, 3-1 Montreal. 5:47 into the third, Kyle Connor's 14th on the power play from Josh Morrissey and Mark Scheifele. All right, I'm going to guess this one was empty net as well because you're going 3-2 this late into the third, probably empty netter. Pretty safe to say. Tyler Toffoli's 17th from Joel Edmondson. So Toffoli, 17 goals on the year. Where was this for LA? Different system. They played more defensive. There was no way he was going to score that many. At least this early in the season. All right. Winnipeg outshot Montreal 36-31. They beat them in the faceoff dot as well, 52-48. Montreal 1 for 2 on the power play. Winnipeg 2 for 3. Penalty minutes 10-8. Montreal with 10. Hits were 33-22 in favor of Winnipeg. Blocks 13-12 in favor of Winnipeg. Giveaways 14-12. Winnipeg with 14. Carey Price 34 saves, 936 save percentage for the win. Connor Hellebuyck 27 saves, 900 save percentage for the loss. On to the always fun Edmonton versus Calgary. If you don't enjoy these games between these two, you don't enjoy the fun part of hockey. The angry part. Alright. Well, I mean, there's other fun parts too, don't get me wrong. But to me, I enjoy seeing that anger between teams. The rivalries, they're fun. It adds an extra element to the game. I mean, goal scoring is all fun. Of course. And amazing stops by goalies are, of course, they're fun. Sometimes they're oversold, but it is what it is. Still, I enjoy the rough part sometimes. Most of the time. All the time. Anyways. Alright, 9:35 into the first period. The bad side of the rough stuff. Jujhar Khaira fights Brett Ritchie. Brett Ritchie catches Khaira with a right into the jaw and knocks him out on his feet. He goes down. They get him up. He skates, I believe, on his own or with help with the trainer and another teammate of his to the back. He does not return to the game. Unfortunate. Hopefully he'll be okay. Really do hope so. And I know at one point, Tyson Barrie, I think, is hurt in this game because I didn't see him get benched. He just did not come back onto the ice. I think he had a total of like 2 or 4 minutes of ice time tonight. So that, to me, says Tyson Berry may be injured too, which could be a big loss. He's been playing really well for this team. All right, let's get to the scoring. 5:25 into the second, Dylan Dubé scores his 7th of the year from Elias Lindholm. At 8:57 into the second, Elias Lindholm's 7th from Oliver Kylington and Dylan Dubé. Then at 9:49, Edmonton responds. Adam Larson's 3rd from Kyler Yamamoto and Tyler Ennis. At 13:45, Calgary expands it a 2-goal lead again. Andrew Mangiapane's 9th from Milan Lucic and Michael Backlund. At 17:07, Josh Archibald makes a 1-goal game again, his 5th of the year from Drew Shore and Ethan Bear. At 5:25 into the third, Edmonton ties it 3-3. Leon Draisaitl's 17th from Connor McDavid. At 6:32 of the third, Noah Hannafin scores his 3rd of the year from Andrew Mangiapane and Michael Backlund, making it 4-3, your final in regulation. Edmonton outshot Calgary 31-27. They beat him in the faceoff dot as well, 62-38. Edmonton 0-for-1 on the power play. Calgary 0-for-3. Penalty minutes 11-7. Edmonton with 11. Hits were 24-16 in favor of Edmonton. Blocks 9-7 in favor of Edmonton. Giveaways 8 each. Smith 23 saves, 852 save percentage for a loss for Edmonton. And Jakob Markstrom 28 saves, 903 save percentage for the win for Calgary, who's chasing that playoff spot. Last game of the evening, San Jose versus Vegas. Another fun game. Lots of rough stuff. Not a very high scoring game, though. 2-1 Vegas wins. Very good goaltending game. Both goalies made some amazingly good saves in this game. All right, 8:35 into the first. A bad penalty by Evander Kane. Have we heard this story before against Vegas? Yes, we have. Max Pacioretty scores his 14th on the power play after Mr. Evander Kane takes a bad penalty from Mark Stone and Shea Theodore. Then at 1:02 of the third, no scoring in the second, Mark Stone scores his 10th of the year from Max Pacioretty. I put his name as Mac Pacioretty there, evidently. I must have hit the wrong button. The C is next to X, so I hit the wrong button. Max Pacioretty and Nicholas Hague. Then at 14:29 of the third, Timo Meier scores his 6th of the year from Brent Burns to make it 2-1. San Jose with a lot of good chances. I remember watching the end of the third period of this, like the last 8 seconds. Vegas, one of their defenders, has the chance to bury the puck in the corner, just hold it back there against the boards with his skate. Instead, he passes it out front, and San Jose gets like 2 or 3 good chances to tie the game. It's like, what are you thinking? Ugh. If I was a coach, I would probably bench that guy next game, because, God, I'd be a terrible coach, not gonna lie. I'm an angry person when I am in a coaching position. So, never will I coach. Anyways, it was a good, fun game to watch, honestly. It really was. Alright. Shots on goal were 36-24 in favor of Vegas. Face-offs 52-48 in favor of San Jose. Power play 0-for-1 for San Jose, 1-for-3 for Vegas. Penalty minutes 6-2, San Jose was 6. Hits were 30-16 in favor of Vegas. Blocks 26-17 in favor of San Jose. And giveaways were 10-2, Vegas with 10. Devin Dubnyk, 34 saves, 944 save percentage. And Marc-Andre Fleury, 23 saves, 958 save percentage. I will say one thing about this game. I'm not a San Jose Sharks fan in any way. Honestly, it's one of my most disliked teams. I don't mind Vegas. I had no problem with them personally. My team just does awful against them, and that's their own dang fault. But in this game, the refs really did not make good calls at all. There were quite a few penalties that should have been called in Vegas that were not called. It was kind of shocking to watch. And I mean, the ones that San Jose took were definitely warranted, and the one that Vegas did get in the last 30 seconds of the game was warranted. But there was a lot more throughout the rest of the game that they just let go. And it's nice to see them let things go sometimes, but at least even it up a little bit, because good Lord, Vegas got away with some murder tonight, it seemed like at times. And that's coming from someone who's not a Sharks fan saying that. Just saying. Alright, anyways, that's all the games for this evening. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit that subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner if you haven't done so already. And if you have already subscribed, thank you for subscribing. And make sure to hit that like, comment what you think of the games, comment what you think of everything that happened. Hopefully you all send your good wishes and get well soon to Jujar Karya. Hopefully he's okay. Other than that, I will see you all next video. Bye, everybody.